3 months after my parents' big announcement to me about becoming the leader of the new world, I have asked a few key people to join me on my journey, since Planto has passed and Aunt Cal decided to step down as key carrier. I asked Anvil and Angel to be the new key carriers, and they had accepted my offer. Of course, it would only be until our new city has been built and everyone has come together. Then we would no longer need the key cars. Arcaden's arm is healed, and he is almost 100%. I had asked him to train Angel and Anvil on how to use the key cars. Let's face it, Arcaden knows what they both do more than any of us. Planto taught him well. After the big meeting both Cora Thebes and Balo had through our V-chits, everyone knew about everything that had happened and what the grandparents had planned. The grandchildren were all in shock and amazement at the same time. The adults, they were just happy to be alive. All the adults had agreed with my parents to make me the leader before I had even known, which made things easier. I personally sat down with my sister and asked if she would like to join me in ruling over the new city. After hours of debating and a couple nights to sleep on it, she did not accept the offer, stating that she just wanted to be free of worry. I accepted her answer. It was also decided that I would come up with a plan before my 18th birthday. I'm turning 18 next week, Arcaden. I think my plan is ready, but what if no one else thinks it's good enough or in everyone's best interest? Arcaden looks at Athena from across Planto's living room with wide eyes. Oh my gosh, you're right. Arcaden gets up from his chair and walks toward Athena with a shocked face. What if you became ruler and thought to blow everyone up and no one agreed to it? Arcaden bends down at Athena's level. I think you'll be just fine, my ambitious fireball. Everyone loves you, and they will for years to come. As Arcaden kisses Athena on her forehead and stands back up, she tilts her head to one side. Arcaden, I know they will follow orders, but what if I accidentally build our new city over a cave system and we fall into the earth? What if... Arcaden stomps his foot. What ifs are not good, Athena. You will do fine. And you know we are going to scout the areas and find the best possible place to build the new city. Athena smiles lovingly at Arcaden and sighs. I know. But don't you think I'm too young and not experienced enough? Arcaden leans back down and grabs Athena's face. Look, none of us are experienced enough for anything. Hell, the adults aren't either. We all believe in you to teach us the right way of the new world, Athena. I love you. Arcaden lets go of Athena and stands back up. Now that you are finished with your rant, I am going to leave you to your planning. I also have planning. I must meet up with Clavel and Anvil. They have a few more interested in scouting. Athena sighs. Okay, leave me with my thoughts, as she raises her eyebrow and gives Arcaden an evil grin. Wait, Arcaden, who's all scouting now? Well, Clavel, Anvil, and I, which I totally disapprove of. Anvil because of his light-hearted nature. There's also a 17-year-old named Trest, an older man named Copen, and one more. He is 17, but does turn 18 soon, and his name is Spendel. Clavel says he has 2 more interested. That should be enough. I don't want too many people involved, as he plays with a string from his shirt. As a few moments go by, Athena sees a bit of worry come across Arcaden's face. She sets her paper and pencil down on the table next to the chair and stands up to walk toward Arcaden, but he starts toward the door. Athena says, Arcaden, is something the matter? In a worried tone. Arcaden stops before he reaches the doorway, and with his back turned to Athena says, I miss him, Athena. I miss him terribly. It hurts my heart so much that he won't be able to see all the good we will do, how big and great this world will become. Arcaden then hits the door frame with his fist and turns around quickly toward Athena. Athena jumps back and a chill goes through her body. This is why, Athena, Arcaden yells. He is why you can't have what-ifs and doubt yourself. Arcaden starts to cry, grabs his face and falls to his knees. Athena, being younger and smaller than him, stands there in shock of Arcaden. He hasn't voiced anything about Planto since it all happened. Athena thinks to herself as she sees her poor man sitting in a pool of his own fears, worries, and heartache. Athena steps closer, kneels down, and puts a hand on Arcaden's knee. Arcaden, still sobbing, takes his hands from his face and pulls Athena into his embrace. Why didn't that old man just let me do it? Why did he have to do it all himself? Virgo was big and stronger than him, Arcaden whispers. I am so mad at him for leaving me, Athena. I am just so mad. Athena, holding onto Arcaden tight, says in a caring tone, "I know what he was, and what he meant to you, but I never knew how you truly felt until now." Athena lets go of Arcaden and looks at his face, red and covered with tears. She gives him a soft smile and gently wipes his face with her hand. "We are going to make this new city for Planto, a world that he would be proud to live in, and we are going to do it together." As Arcaden looks down, Athena tips his chin to look up at her. "You know that promise we made a long time ago? Where if we made it through, stopping everything, we would be together? Arcaden, will you rule this new world with me?" Arcaden looks at Athena and then looks down. "I thought you knew from the beginning it was you and I against the odds, Athena. I did from the moment I scooped you up from that field." Arcaden gets up. "I didn't think there had to be any more confirmation." Arcaden sighs and heads toward the door. "You work on your plan. I'll let you know what happens on my end." Arcaden steps through the doorway, and the front door opens and shuts. Athena is left in the middle of the room, on her knees, with her hands in her lap, stunned. She thinks to herself, "What did I say that was wrong? Does he not want to be my husband? Is ruling alongside me such a bad thing?" Athena gets up and runs her fingers through her hair. As she goes to sit down, a flashback of Arcaden comes to mind. Right before the burning of Planto's body, Athena let everyone know that it was going to be a moment because Arcaden needed to say his goodbyes. He came out of that room older, in a sense, and more stern in the face. Athena just thought he needed time, but maybe the terror of that day was too much for him. Maybe it did change him. He was more outspoken now, and he scolded Athena more often. He just needs a little longer. Athena sits in Planto's chair, and the smell of peppermint and cigars filled her senses. Athena speaks out in a begging tone, "Please, Planto, help our Arcaden. Please help him." Both Core Thebes and Balo had appointed a couple adults with medical history to take out the chest bombs. Since it was such a huge mission, they let 5 of the grandchildren from both cities sit in on the procedures. One of the young men was an 18-year-old named Kai. He was a very smart man and had brilliant ideas. His father died in the Great War, and he was raised by his mother in Balo. Athena had not met a lot of people, but she has heard great things about the doctors, and will get to meet all of them soon. "Meeting is in order," Arcaden shouts above all the other men talking. "As we all know, Athena will be taking over leadership this week, which means all of you and I will be scouting the areas for the new city to be built. Athena will also be joining us when she feels the time is right. I see 2 new faces. Can you each stand up and tell us who you are?" The first man stands, almost too old to be considered.
"My name is Lee. I may look too old for you all, but I am a strong-minded man, and I have a lot of ideas to bring to the table. I am here to serve our new leader."
As Lee goes back to sit down, Arcaden stands up. "How do we know that you are able-bodied to go on this long trip? We don't need to lose anyone to the elements." Clavel stands before Lee can say a word.
"I know for a fact Lee can make it, Arcaden. I vouch for him wholeheartedly."
Arcaden looks at Lee and back at Clavel. "Okay, Clavel, he's your responsibility. We will have no doctors on this trip." Arcaden sits back down. "What about you? You look to only be 15, so now we have a baby to raise as well, Clavel," Arcaden says with a chuckle. The young man looks at Arcaden from under his shaggy blonde bang and stands up.
"Arcaden, is it? I'm not one to give myself an introduction, but my name is Travis. As for the baby joke, I am a 37-year-old man."
Arcaden gasps at the fact this man is older than him and looks so young.
"If you let me on this scouting team of yours, I promise."
Travis steps closer to Arcaden and with a wink says,
"I will show you the way."
Athena, alone with her thoughts, is writing all the possible things to bring up in her announcement. She knows she could bring the cities together, and what is best for everyone as well. She has a lot of positive ideas and can turn years of worry for everyone into a bright future. 1. Name the new city. 2. Start fresh crops. 3. Help people to unite that have been split. 4. Have everyone's health screened. 5. Appoint jobs. 6. Start a school. 7. Plan wedding. Okay, so maybe I will not announce that last one. Athena scratches it out. As Athena is overwhelmed with everything that has been running through her head, she thinks about taking a break and going for a walk. Night air should do me some good, she thinks to herself. Athena stands and stretches and looks at her V-chit. Whoa, it's 10 o'clock. Okay, so maybe a short walk. Athena grabs a jacket and is out the door. She walks toward what Belo calls downtown. She assumes it is because that is where all the shops are located. No one has really explained this to her. Korathib's residents just sell out of their homes. They did that because they wanted something on a more personal level, to feel close with everyone because of the separation of families. Athena always loved seeing the people coming and going from her home and Aunt Cal's home when she was growing up. It was almost like a family when they were all laughing and talking about the items they would bring and trade with one another. The nights in Belo are cold, but the days are nice and warm. That night was beautiful, with stars twinkling. Athena can't keep her eyes off the sky as she is walking. Suddenly she hears a voice from not so far away. Look out! Athena jumps back as she sees a man riding his bike toward her. With a gasp, the man stops and gets off the bike. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. Are you all right? I was just paying too much attention to the sky, and I was going so fast, and... Oh my, I'm sorry. Are you all right, miss? Athena was a little breathless. The man she saw before her was beautiful. He looked around her age with big green eyes and shaggy light brown hair and one side shaved, with the other in braids and freckles on his nose. He was just a little taller than Athena and had a very strong, solid build. You could tell he cared about himself. Miss? Miss, are you all right? Athena wakes up from the amazement she is having. Yes, I'm all right. Nothing happened. You don't have to worry. With a sigh of relief, the man's shoulders relax. Oh, I thought I might have hit you, and didn't know, or just scared you to death. Again, I am sorry, my lady, the man says with a bow. Athena giggles. You are so nice. My name is Athena. What's yours? As Athena puts her hand out to shake the man's hand, the man's face looks pale. Are you all right? Athena asks while putting her head to the side. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. It's just... Well, my name is Kai. I'm supposed to be meeting with you next week. I am one of the few that got chosen to sit in on the medical procedures with the adults. Wow, you sure are beautiful. Athena looks at Kai and with a sarcastic tone says, Yes, well, I do believe the reckless way you were riding your bike, you almost didn't get to meet me at all. You could have hurt me, or killed me, or worse. Kai looks at Athena and says, Worse, my lady? What could be possibly worse than death? Athena puts her hand to her chin and pretends to think. Well, not meeting me at all, of course. Athena and Kai laugh at the situation that just occurred. Well, Kai, it's nice to meet you finally. I've been hearing a lot of good things about the medical team, but especially you. I've heard that you are well versed in the medical field, and that you have a lot of ideas to bring to the table, and that you may be even better than the adults that I have appointed to do the medical in both cities. Well, my lady, I would not go as far as to saying I am better than the adults. They have years ahead of me. I just turned 18. I do, however, have lots of ideas, and I've been studying all the medical stuff I can with my V-chit, as well as normal books. You see, my father and his father before him were both doctors, and when they were killed in the Great War, my mother made sure to keep all the medical books she could, and also to keep the knowledge of everything she learned from my father. 3 months after my parents' big announcement to me about becoming the leader of the new world, I have asked a few key people to join me on my journey, since Planto has passed, and Aunt Cal decided to step down as key carrier. I asked Anvil and Angel to be the new key carriers, and they had accepted my offer. Of course, it would only be until our new city has been built and everyone has come together. Then we would no longer need the key cars. Arcaden's arm is healed, and he is almost 100%. I had asked him to train Angel and Anvil on how to use the key cars. Let's face it, Arcaden knows what they both do more than any of us. Planto taught him well. After the big meeting both Korathibes and Belo had through our V-chits, everyone knew about everything that had happened and what the grandparents had planned. The grandchildren were all in shock and amazement at the same time. The adults, they were just happy to be alive. All the adults had agreed with my parents to make me the leader before I had even known, which made things easier. I personally sat down with my sister and asked if she would like to join me in ruling over the new city. After hours of debating and a couple nights to sleep on it, she did not accept the offer, stating that she just wanted to be free of worry. I accepted her answer. It was also decided that I would come up with a plan before my 18th birthday. I'm turning 18 next week, Arcaden. I think my plan is ready, but what if no one else thinks it's good enough, or in everyone's best interest? Arcaden looks at Athena from across Planto's living room with wide eyes.